Hello and welcome to another video looking at another drill that I've come up with. We're calling this one Counterattacking Blitz. It was inspired by a drill that I saw in a short little video online, and I've modified it to make it a little bit more useful for youth level. Here are the quick coaching points. We'll review these at the end. The drill is meant to be done at full speed, full sprints. Counterattacking is most effective when you can catch your opponent off balance and outnumbered as the ball turns over, and speed is an important part of that. The drill is bi-directional. You start from one direction as a numbers up situation, and as you'll see, you start as 3v2, but you can make it 4v2 or 4v3, and then when you turn it around as part of the natural flow, it becomes a numbers even situation, 3v3 or 4v4. So it offers different challenges for your players where they have a numerical advantage and when they're even, because both those situations can happen. And many times in an attacking situation, even a numbers even situation is still an advantage for the attack. It's really important to limit the number of touches to 2 or 3 to start, and then try to reduce that number as the players understand the drill. Ideally, this should all be 1 or 2 touch at high speed. You can start this drill. We show it going down the right to start, but then you can vary it to the left, and you can even use the center. And while this drill is really designed as a base for 7v7, it can be easily modified for 9v9 or 11v11, either by just using it as it is on a bigger field, or by adding other players that may be a part of your attacking package depending on the formation you're using. So here's our setup. If you've got enough players to do this, we're going to set up with 2 groups of 5 plus 2 keepers, so 12 players. If you don't have 12 players, that's okay. You can actually eliminate these 5 players waiting on the left side of the screen and just use your extra players to let these players rest as you go through the drill. You'll still need 2 keepers, and you'll need a net, hopefully about the halfway line is a good length of the field. You also will need some pennies because you're going to want to at least outline 2 defensive players on each of the groups of 5, as you'll see in a minute. Play starts with a long ball being played from one of the players down towards a coach. The coach's job is really just to stop the ball from going out of bounds and just to leave it in this channel area and getting out of the way. The 2 yellow players in this slide are rushing back to assume defensive positions, and the 3 green players are your 7, 11, and 9 going to attack this goal. When the coach receives the ball, he's just going, or she is just going to stop it and leave it in a neutral spot just outside the area here in the channel and back out of the way. Again, the coach's job is just to keep the ball from going out of bounds. They may not even have to make a touch. As the play progresses, it's really important that once they reach the ball, that they have 2 touches max to play this ball into the box for the teammates. We don't want dribbling. We don't want any lengthy process. The idea in a counterattack is speed. We want to be able to attack the goal before the other team can recover into defensive positions. As the play progresses here, green are trying to cross the ball in for their teammates. They may be able to score. The ball might go out of bounds. But however, whatever happens, the ball goes out of bounds, the ball goes in the net, or the defending team receives the ball. As soon as that happens, now the play is going to go the opposite direction, and now these 3 players, the 2 yellow plus the keeper, are going to attack this net, and the 3 green players are now going to assume being defenders. If the ball goes in the net or out of bounds, have a collection of balls and either have another coach or one of a player just pass the ball in to the defending team, and they can start from there. As you can see now, as the defending team is now transitioned to attack, the 7 and the 11 are now going to assume the role of the 4 and the 5 and be the center backs, and now the 9 has become the 8/6 and a defensive mid. So the recovery runs for the 2 greens are running back this way, and this player here becomes the 8 and tries to delay while these players start to attack. As a coach, you can dictate that you want the ball to go out wide and you can want it to go to the right or the left, or you can let the play occur naturally. Whatever you want to work on, whatever processes you've been working on the attack, you can dictate how this happens, whether you want it to mirror that we played this ball down to the right, so now you want this ball to go out to the right, however you want this to go, but this is how you would instruct your players to go. So now it's a 3v3 going this way, whereas prior, when we went this way, it was a 3v2. So that was the numbers up to the numbers even. Allow the play to progress, and then whatever the result is, the goal, a save, or the ball goes out of bounds, that crew of players now comes off the field to recover. Now, if you've got enough players to start from this end, then now you're going to bring this play. This player is going to play the ball to the coach, and we're going to start all over. This keeper can recover back and get back in line, hopefully in time for when the ball comes back this way. Again, there's a lot of running in this drill, which is a good thing. It keeps everybody active, and it's a good fitness as well. If you don't have enough players, then it's easy enough to now swap out some of your players here in a rotation, maybe swap out your keepers, and then you can go from that way. You can vary this attack as well from the right to the left, however you want to do it. You'll see here, I'm starting the ball. This assumes that we have enough players, so now the green players played into this coach. They're going to leave the ball. These two yellow players are going to defend this net, and the three green are going to attack, and this keeper is recovering back in. When the play resolves itself here, then the two yellows and the blue will go after the greens, and it will just go in the other direction. As you progress, you can start to add players. So, for example, for the green team, you could add their number 8. So now you have a midfielder. So you can first start it as a 4v2, and then eventually you can also add in the midfielder on the yellow team. So now it's 4v3. When the play turns around, it's going to be 4v4 because now the 3 yellow plus the keeper are going to go after this side. This player becomes, and this player retreat back to be the center backs. Now this is your midfielder still, and this is your striker recovering back. So it's a 4v4 situation. Depending on your formation and age level, if you're 9v9 or 11v11, you might add other players into this mix depending on your attacking structure. So again, review the coaching points. This drill is really meant to be done at full speed, full sprints. Counterattacking is about speed and attacking your opponent before they can get back to recover. It is bidirectional. Go one direction, numbers up, gives your players a little bit of an advantage as they go forward. And then when it turns around, the numbers even situation gives them a different problem to solve. Again, limiting the touches to 2 to 3 and then reducing it down to 1-2 touch is really important so that players don't slow down the play as they make that counterattack. Vary your starting positions, work on the right-sided crosses, then your left-sided crosses, and then work on your crosses or your play down the middle to see how you can teach your players to attack from various attack points. And again, as we talked about, this could be modified for 9v9 or 11v11 simply by using the bigger field so there's more space, and or adding other players if it makes sense for your formation. But even still, 3v2 and 4v3 are situations that happen all the time in any of the formats and can be used by any team. I hope this drill is useful and fun for you and your players. And if you have any questions, you can always get in touch. Thank you so much.